and this is Stitchless TV. Now I've got these really nice black trousers that are just a tiny bit too small for me, and I was just about to quickly go and do this technique that I use for making clothes bigger, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to show it with you lot. So look, right, these are the trousers. Now I know you're going to say, oh, there's nothing wrong with them, they look fine. And yeah, they do look fine, don't they? No, they do look fine, but I want them to be a bit more dropped. I want them a bit more harem-like, and I can't pull them down enough. So what we have to do is, you have to get what me and Shaz call some go faster stripe. Now I really don't know why we call it go faster stripe. I think because usually it occurs on sort of jogging bottoms or something, like running trousers. Maybe that's why. Anyway, so go faster stripe can be any sort of braiding that isn't too stiff, that you can insert in the side seam to just give yourself like an extra ½ inch or an inch on each side, and really it makes all the difference. Now here are some examples of braidings or go faster stripes that I'm trying to decide upon today to go in the side seam of my kind of harem-like trousers. But this one, whilst it looks quite thin, it's got a tiny bit of stretch in it, and it does feel surprisingly strong, and I really like the way that it looks. Now me and Shaz, we use go faster stripes all the time. That's Shaz, my sister, by the way. We made an A-line skirt. You can watch the video by clicking on the link. It's a 2-part video tutorial of how to make an A-line skirt. And then afterwards, even though it had a different fabric on the front and on the back, I don't know, we just felt we needed to oomph it up a little bit by putting a go faster stripe on the side. It's also a really brilliant way of, you know, if you've got like a fitted dress and it's just a bit too tight, if you just insert something nice in those side seams, you can easily give yourself an extra inch or ½ inch on each side, really, and you'll see it will make the world of difference to the fit. Now I need an access point. So what you need to do, whether you're doing it on sleeves or on trouser legs, your life is so much easier if you just unpick that inside seam. So they're my trousers and these are the inside leg seams. So I'm going to unpick those now, because then it'll make it so much easier for me to work on this outside seam. Now I'm just going to undo the zip so I can get in the top part. Now really all that we do, so we get our go faster stripe stuff, and I'm going to lay it on top of the side seam. Now if you wanted, you could unpick that side seam, but I'm not going to do that today. So I want an overhang, good overhang. I think I'm probably going to do about a 3-inch overhang there. I'm going to put it on top of the seam, right butted up. So I'm right butted up to that seam, and I've got a zip there as well. And we're just going to sew like 1 mil along the edge, going all the way down that side seam. So I've left a very long overhang on that. Now because I've got a zip, a kind of side zip pocket, and I need to go really close to it, I'm actually using a zip foot, but you would just use a regular sewing foot, it'd be so easy. And a straight stitch, whatever you want, 2.5, 3, and you just sew close to one side. Now what you do have to be careful about is you have to be careful you don't stitch onto your actual trousers, because you've sort of gone through, you've gone in on the waist, haven't you? It's a good idea to have your hem unpicked so that you can just feed it all the way down into the hem. That will make it look much more professional. But if you haven't been able to unpick your hem, then make sure that when you sew to the end, leave a really long bit because you might want to sort of neatly hem it afterwards. So when you've done that on one side, obviously, you then have to do exactly the same thing on the other side. For this next bit, sorry, it is a little bit scary, but don't be scared, it'll be fine. So this is how we make it a little bit bigger, okay? So what we're going to do is, you know the seam that we've just sewn, cut about, I don't know, 2 mils all the way along. So look, so you know how we've stitched that on there? I want you to cut so you're left with about a 3 millimeter seam allowance, okay, and do that all the way up, because then what happens is we then reattach this onto the other side with the same seam allowance, and it will give us, or in my situation, it's going to give me about 1 centimetre on each side. So my trousers will be 1 centimetre on each side bigger, making them a total of 2 centimetres bigger, which was exactly what I needed. Now I know that that was really scary, sorry about that, but you've got to remember, you've got to cut close enough to the braiding where you've just stitched it, but not so close that you weaken that seam. So then what we're going to do is, you've got to exactly line them up, but you're going to line them up with a little bit of a gap, because that gap is how you're making your trousers bigger. So look, can you see I'm exactly lining up that waistline there, because if I misalign it now, then it's just going to get worse and worse all the way down. So I'm lining it up exactly, but just a little bit of a seam allowance, but enough so that it's strong. So backwards and forwards at the beginning. Make sure that you are actually grabbing enough but not too much, and you're just really carefully going to start working your way down that trouser leg. Now if you're not going to use pins, you can do what I did, which was cut some Bonder web to about 2 mil wide, and I bonded it together first so that when I sewed, you know, it's just a dream to sew when you glue it together with Bonder web. So you can try them on at this point, but before I try mine on, I'm just going to finish off those long bits that I left. Now what you've got to do is, those long bits, just fold them back, and either you can stitch down the stitch line that you did when you stitched on your Go Faster stripe, or just go straight across like that, and then do the same on the hem as well. Oh, so exciting. So what we've got to do now is, don't forget to close off your inside seam. So do you remember we unpicked those inside seams of the legs? So if you're happy with how your trousers are looking, then you just need to re-stitch up those inside leg seams. Right, so that has made them just enough, big enough for me to be able to drop it down a little bit, so I get much more of a harem pant kind of look. Thank you so much for watching Stitchless TV sewing channel. And if you decide to put Go Faster stripes in any clothes, I'd love to see what you put them in. Even if it's not to make them bigger, I want to see them on my Facebook page, Stitchless TV sewing channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you again soon. Bye.